Hi, I'm Neil Enoch, and welcome to Train Talk TV, the podcast about all things railroad. Today, we talk with Matthew Hicks, a popular railroad photographer, announcing the winners in our holiday train lights contest. We want to know if you're doing something train for Valentine's Day. We have train and railroad news now on the website at Train Talk TV, and how you can help set a new world record for the world's longest model train. Well, we caught up with Matthew Hicks, railroad photographer on the west side of Calgary at the Keith Yard, and we had a chat with him about what it is to be a railroad photographer. I'm here with Matthew Hicks. Matthew is a train photographer.
That I am.
How do you get to be a train photographer?
Well, you spend a lot of money, and you meet a lot of people, and you get harassed by a lot of railway police. So that's about it.
Well, how do you get started? What makes you want to do those things?
In the murky depths of my childhood, somewhere I think I can blame Thomas. Other than that, I'm not entirely sure.
Thomas. They didn't have Thomas when I was growing up, but I had HO, so that was my vice. So where do you hunt for trains to shoot? We're at Keith Yard in North Calgary here right now. A couple of trains just went through a few minutes ago. Where do you look for a train to shoot? You have some nice stuff. So
yeah, I always look in the mountains. I prefer the solitude there and the scenery. To be honest, I rarely shoot trains anywhere else. Okay. Because the mountains are where I prefer to be anywhere, anytime. And I'm hanging out to Banff for the weekend next weekend, so you can expect to see some more photos from me. But I rarely shoot even east of here because the population is just too dense, and I like working with scenery. How do you know where you're going to shoot? You're heading to the mountains. There are a lot of them. How do you pick the spot? Well, I started out by following Nick Morant's example, because he is probably the best train photographer that Western Canada has ever seen. Okay. So follow in his steps and see what he does, and eventually I just ended up branching out, finding my own spots, since a lot of the ones he shot at have been completely overgrown by pine trees. So I spent a lot of time walking along the line in the woods, just trying to find a good spot, just trying to find a nice curve with a mountain in the background, and always keeping in mind where the sun is. Yeah. Now, we were talking about what your favorite photo is that you've taken. I'd have to say it's one of my less popular photos. It's a photo of CP 2816, the Empress steam locomotive, coming around some curves west of Lake Louise. It's really early in the morning, cold day, very humid, and the smoke plume is amazing. I converted it to black and white very dutifully, so it's very, very striking with a white plume against the dark forest. Right on, yeah. And a shot you don't see much anymore. No, not at all. Someone that wants to take a better photo, something to the caliber of what you're doing, any simple tips for them? Well, for really a beginner, the best solution is just to keep the sun at your back when you're taking pictures of a train, or a lot of subjects too, like portraits. It applies to landscapes, because with the sun at your back, you get a lot more pop in the color. And with a scene like this, there's not much else to go on. So you want to have something bright and colorful to draw your eye, like a train. Aside from that, I'd say try to keep clutter out of your photo as much as you can. The aforementioned telephone poles. Yeah, and say you're taking a photo here, I would try to keep that big white dome out of the photo, or that bridge over there. Just try to keep it simple. The distractions, yeah. Yeah, try to find some curves that will draw the eye through the photo. Because really, one of the main things about photography is you have to find something to keep you in the photo once you look at it. Anything else you would like to tell us about shooting trains? Well, patience. Have lots and lots of patience. Bring a good book. Absolutely. Or an iPad. Yeah, make sure it has enough battery to last through the cold, long winters. Good book, maybe. Back to the good book. Well, thanks, Matthew. Thank you very much for letting us have a chat with you, and we'll look for some of your train photos out there. And hey, if you get anything good that you want to, let us know about, drop us a line and we'll throw it on the podcast. Excellent. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Well, the full interview with Matt is available through the show notes at traintalk.tv. You can see his pictures on railpictures.net or on his own site, matthicksphoto.com. If you've got some photos you'd like to share, send them along and we'll spit them out there for you. Well, we'd like to thank everybody who entered in our holiday train lights contest. We had some pretty good entries, and we had a bunch of things we wrote in, just pictures and things people had sent in that were great but weren't actually intended as entries. Anyway, we've picked the winners, and one of our judges, my daughter Annika, is going to present the winners.
Category 1, home lights. We had no entries, so there's no winner.
inside and outside, and it's part of a holiday tradition now.
Category 2, railroad lights. Niles Canyon Railway wins for the best decorated train. Category 3, special lights. Phil Huntman of Maryland wins for his Christmas train garden display. Thank you for entering. Please enter next year.
Well, it's too bad we didn't get any entries into our home lights contest. I can't be the only guy out there with a train on my front yard for holiday lights. Get your entries in next year for that one. Our prizes will be going out next week to our winners. We did want to give honorable mention to the Winnipeg Railway Museum and the Nevada Northern Railway, both sent in excellent entries. Keep an eye on our contest page for our next contest and for the Christmas contest when it comes up again next fall. Well, if you are one of the few people whose spouses don't enjoy trains quite as much as you, then this Valentine's Day might be the perfect opportunity to give that a little nudge in the right direction. Our events page will be listing dozens of special Valentine's Day trains all over the world, which you can partake of. Now, more than that, if you have an idea of combining Valentine's Day and trains in some unique manner, maybe you could drop us a line and let us know, and we'll pass it on. So since we started Train Talk TV, we've been getting more and more news and email announcements in every day. And we've coordinated that into a couple of things that may work really well if you're interested in that sort of thing. We've converted our news links page on the website into a news feed. You can click on and go directly to the articles that you're interested in. That's updated 2 or 3 times a day, so it's fairly current. We've also improved our Railway Weekender to get events to you better, faster, and easier to find, because that was a bit of a challenge. We're also improving the delivery of it, and in addition to the email, you can now download a PDF from the email or the website, so the events are a nice clean PDF, all organized and the way to go. A few episodes ago, we told you about Chicagoland's successful attempt to capture the O-gauge record for the longest model train in the world. We did a little research right after that and found out that the longest HO scale model train in the world record is held by Miniature Wonderland in Hamburg, Germany. No surprise if you've seen their layout. However, the Wilmington Railroad Museum in North Carolina aims to change all that on April 23rd. More importantly, you can help. How can you help? They've made it real simple. For $25, you can sponsor a rail car in the train. For $100, you can sponsor one of the 34 locomotives. They have other sponsorship levels too if you're interested in a more corporate challenge. This is a great example of marketing to get the public involved with trains, involved with history. Wonderful work. I hope they do well. I think we're going to see if we can help them out as well. Oh, you can get them at wrrm.org, and links in the show notes too. This episode is sponsored by Cribscapes Collectible Cribbage Boards. These unique 3D wooden cribbage boards make excellent gifts for the train buff or aficionado in your life. You can personalize them with whatever road or railway you'd like on them, on the board, on the box, whatever you like. The newest version has a lighthouse, and you can even get a lit lighthouse option. That's www.cribscapes.com. Thanks for watching. We hope you're having a great new year. Be sure and tell your friends about us. We're going to leave you with this shot of fireworks over the Nevada Northern Railway's fireworks train.